so far, so good. So far, so good in the terms that so far, since the June 12th movement till now, we've been moving on. Maybe a cliche from the Hope 93 slogan, on the march again. Nigerians, ever since June 12, 1999, have been on the march. The military came, Allah through Abacha, we ensured that we drove them back. They also tried through Abdul Salam, and of course, we ensured that they were not comfortable. And we tried. And you agree with me that some few weeks ago, there are some drum beats about a coup being planned or to be executed. Again, the Nigerian people rose up that no, never again. If we're going to have any form of government in this country, it must be through the ballot box. The barrel of a gun is an aberration. And any attempt or a thought by anybody or a group of persons to take us back to Egypt, they should perish that thought. And I want to believe, yes, we are not yet here. We are what we call a democracy. We are yet what we call a civil rule. We are not yet in a democracy. That is what we fought for, and that's what MKO Abiola died for. And 24 years ago, fortunately, I was part of that movement when it all started. And I do tell my colleagues that we should stop agonizing. We should start organizing ourselves for the real struggle, because we are not yet there. We found out that the government and the political system has been hijacked by political jabbers and grabbers. Those who knew nothing about the June 12 movement, those who knew nothing about the struggle, are those who occupy and who have dominated the political space. But be that as it may, you agree with me that the level of awareness of the Nigerian people have improved. Unlike before, when the docility and nonchalant attitude is the order of the day, you go into the social media today, you see the level of awareness. And you know that indeed, come 2019, we will not have a poor, or how do I call it, a quarter, or unfortunately the words have escaped me, but where I'm going is that the number of those who will vote, those who will be involved in the political process through voting proper, will be very, very high. Unlike before, when we have less than 30% or even 25% of the total number of Nigerians voting in any election, I can assure you that we're going to have an increased number of people who will be involved in the electoral process and who will indeed be voters. Unlike before, when people will be imposing themselves on the people, this time around, I know that the Nigerian people, particularly the voters, will take their destiny in their own hands by ensuring that it is the people that they indeed want to govern them that they will throw up as candidates of all these political parties.
Okay, so a lot of Nigerians are of the perspective that at the election, the June 12 election not being annulled, Nigeria would have had a rapid democratic growth. Are you in line with this school of thought?
Yes, I'm in line with it. Because the man, MKO Abiola, is not just an ordinary person. He's someone whose life, whose pedigree, whose antecedent, in fact, whose character radiates from Nigeria. And that's why the whole Nigerian queued behind him to vote for him, irrespective of a political divide, irrespective of tribal leaning, irrespective of religious antecedent. The Christians, the Muslims, all queued behind him, voted for him. That is one. His background, from grass to that level, to that status, it came to the fore that anything the man touches became gold. He went into broadcasting, he went into business, and everything turned out right. If not that alone, the man himself, his mien, his candor, his countenance, and of course his spirit, everyone believed in him. And I want to believe that's why that acronym, HOPE, came in. That he is the hope, to bring hope, to ensure that the downtrodden, and this is somebody who has a feeling for the downtrodden, to ensuring that indeed the common man survives. And I've not seen it. Apart from Europe, and maybe in Libya, where government works for the people. In Nigeria, the issue is that give us this day our daily bread. If you don't struggle for your daily bread, you're on your own in this country, as I talk to you now. And there was that great hope that if this man that has done this outside government gets into government, he used the apparatus of government to ensuring that indeed Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution comes to in terms of government being for the welfare of the people and providing security for the people. And the essence of government itself is the welfare of the people. If government can't provide for the people, then what is the essence of government? As I talk to you now, I want to believe this place is run on generator. That's private power. Is government there for you? And I know those who are watching too, to all intents and purposes, they rely on privately generated source of electricity or power. That is one. Security. We all have our various securities in our various houses. Electricity, a hospital. We all pay through our nose to take care of ourselves. The challenges are so many, or they are numerous. But one will expect that by now we'll have passed that. And because of that, it now makes the issue of MKO Abiola, the June 12, to become a recurring decimal. To the extent that people like us, whenever we look at that, had it been the elections was not annulled, obviously, we will not be here. We will have gone far away. And I tell you, with all sense of authority, that Dubai will be crawling to meet us. Dubai that everybody is running to. Where were they 24 years ago? Where were they? I hope someone who is listening will look at it. Because I was in Dubai 24 years ago. That's not how it was. So, if such a country can be transformed with the type of leadership they have, and with the type of person and the personality that Abiola is, or was, then definitely it will have been El Dorado. I go around Nigeria on a regular basis. Sometimes I go on the roads. And most of the time I'm lucky that 1:30, 2 o'clock, I drive past some schools. And if you know in Nigeria, those of you who are watching and you here, you know that most of the schools are in the rural areas, are by the roadside, by the side of the roads. And you see droves of young boys and girls leaving the school, going to town. And of course, immediately after they are leaving school, graduating from their various secondary schools, the next point of call is that they hit Lagos, they hit Abuja now. Abuja now is something else. Anyone who has gone to Abuja, they go to Port Harcourt or Kaduna. And of course, leaving the rural area as it is. Some few days ago, I was in Ekiti. I was in Aramoko, Ilawe, Isu, Isho, Ise and Co. The place is a dead place. The youths have left the place, so the place is left with the old people. So how can a country grow? Whereas a country like India and this Dubai that we say, they deliberately ensure that the rural areas are developed. They concentrate institutions and activities in the rural areas so that the youths will be there. But what do we say? The rural area is dry. So the youth wants better life too. And better life is where? In the urban area. So they move there, live in the rural area. So, and Abiola, I know, will have changed that to ensuring, because he's an industrialist, he will know that he will locate. And of course, I read a little bit of economics. And I know that one of the advantages of industrial location, establishing industries is locating them where you have your raw materials. As I talk to you now, Nigeria is a cassava producing country, number 1 in the world. Where are the cassava industries located? Are they in the rural areas? Does it not make sense that these are things that be done? Rice milling industry, do we have them in the rural areas? The other day I passed through Kainji. The place is shallow, and one will expect that hydroelectricity can still be produced there. The place can still be further dammed. There are so many issues that are begging for answers. But be that as it may, we need a good government. And that's why we need somebody who will grow. Somebody who has built bridges across the country. A Pan-Nigerian, not a local or a tribal warlord. And that's what earned Abiola the status he has. He built bridges across the country, across religion, across tribal, it will be an error for anybody to say Jonathan was not friendly to the East. And if they fail to take advantage, with the avalanche of the Easterners in government, it's not fair. And that's why, again, we have to look at Nigeria. So if a Yoruba man is there, the Igbo and the Hausas will be antagonizing. If the Hausa man is there now, the Igbos and the Hausa and the Yorubas will be antagonizing. How can we run a country like that? The Igbos were quiet when Jonathan was president because they were enjoying. We, the Yorubas, give them all the support. We are not fools. And for you to know that the Yorubas are not fools. When Obasanjo was the president, the Yorubas too, when they saw that he was behaving somehow, they abandoned him. And for you to know, he was not voted for in his house. But let's leave that one, and I'll come back to your issue. For a long time, Nnamdi Kanu and his groups have been disturbing the peace of this country, all in the name of Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. And I'm a lawyer. You can't go to the streets. You can't, nobody has monopoly of violence. If you want your self-determination, it is done legally, because Nigeria, we have fought a war and we have come back and we have sat down to legalize Nigeria. So if you want to go away, then you sit down, think about how you want to go legally, not violently. Violence cannot pay. Violence have never paid. And there's no way you act violently, you still sit down to settle it civil. For you to confirm, we fought a civil war. We came to the round table to settle it civil. After the violence, the pogrom, the killings. They say the truth is bitter, but unfortunately that's just it. So, if a group of people are threatening a government, and the Northerners are in government, they won't take it easy. Why are you disturbing our man? Is that so? It's all right. We too, we are not fools. And I told you, nobody has monopoly of violence. Let's sit down and discuss Nigeria. As I sit with you, I'm not happy the way Nigeria is structured. But that does not mean that I should take the guns. And don't forget that we Yorubas are intellectuals. And I have no apology to that. We Yorubas are intellectuals. We know what we did to ensure that Babangida ran out of office. Was it including in Eso Rock? We are busy doing our thing here in Ikeja, under the bridge. But then, intelligence past intelligence. So, I will expect the Igbo guys to go and sit down and put their acts together. You have senators serving in the Federal Republic. You have members of the House of Representatives. Your son is a governor of the central bank, and you are shouting Biafra all over. Haba, let's look at these things. If you want to leave, you call all your people and say, we are no more, they will resign. Then we'll know that indeed there is a Biafra, or there is a problem somewhere. The simple adage is that you can't be whispering and be moving your nose. You can't do those two together. It's either you move your nose or you smile.
Yes, sir, but the Niger Delta, they have demanded that oil blocks belonging to them.
It's the same thing. I know where you are going. It's the same thing. The issue of the Niger Delta too is the same thing with the Biafran issue. When Jonathan was president, did you hear anything called Niger Delta agitation? Haba. And you think these boys are fools, the Northerners? It is only the Yoruba that are accommodating, that will say, okay, we'll look at it truthfully and honestly. These other guys, look at it, to them, they are disturbing their own son, who is the president. That's the way they look at it. And they have no apology. If during the era of good luck, Jonathan, the Niger Delta people were busy, and unfortunately I've been to Utuke, as I talk to you, no water. If you want to put pin to my lie, send your reporters or send somebody there. No water to drink. It's just like John Pepper Clark's statement. Water, water everywhere. None to drink. In Otuoke. And the man was president for 6 years, or 5 years. And I appreciate him. When he went to Port Harcourt, he was apologetical. That, yes, I'm sorry I didn't do well. I'm a Port Harcourt man. I grew up here and co. That when he's given the next opportunity, he's going to ensure that all those areas that he has failed. Crying after the deed has been done. But be that as it may, the Niger Delta people they did not agitate when Jonathan was there. Is it Buhari that is from Katsina that will now address the issue of Niger Delta? I hope somebody has been to Mina before who is watching and listening to this program. Babangida, when he was the president, ensured that Mina, his hometown, was well developed. Road went into places that nobody was living then. Electricity poles were there. So, if the Niger Delta people are agitating, anybody who is right thinking will say it's because their man is not there. That's why.
You seem to know who should be in government and what caliber of persons that we want in government. And then from my interactions with you, you are well traveled. You have met lots of people. You're brilliant. You're a lawyer. You're Yoruba. Now, what stops you from contesting for election? What stops you from starting this change with yourself? I mean, this administration, they had the slogan, change begins with me. So why would you not want to present yourself as this Nigerian that the rest of us should support?
Rally around.
Yes.
Thank you. Fortunately for me, I started a project called Voters Awareness Initiative. And when I started, people thought the project can never see the light of day. That's in terms of the ballot box or the thumb, prepare the way to enlighten the people, to educate the people on how to go. Now coming to your question, I'm well-traveled, I'm well-versed, I know the little challenges about Nigeria. But as we talk now, my services are open to anybody who thinks he needs it to move forward, or a group of people who thinks they need it. We'll sit down together on a round table and say, okay, have you considered this person? Have you considered that person? Have you considered this? We bring them together, we work on them, and we look at the best, and we throw the person out. Then in the various states, we look at the person who has the... You see, this thing is about something from the heart. The art of leading people is something that comes innate or inherent. It's something that is in you. It's not something that you just want to be a fake or a pretender. That's why I call these people pretenders. They get to office, they don't know what to do with office. The Yoruba man will say, you're spending 20 years to plan madness. How many years will you spend in practicing it? Governance is not a big deal. I run my chambers. And I run my home. And I run my life. I don't go out begging. But for a government to now go begging, getting loans to pay salaries, and I'm sure you know that it happens, and it means that that government is a prodigal son. And whoever heads that government is a prodigal. That person has no fear of God. That person does not take the people into consideration. So the closing up. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Psalm 11:3. We need to sit down as a people. And the person must come from the north. The person must come from the east. And the northerners have ruled for so long. It is the time of the east. It is the time of the west. Is it about the person or the west, or the person that will take us to El Dorado, that will take us to the promised land? Sufferness does not know tribe. As I'm talking to you now, suffering cut across the whole geopolitical zones of Nigeria. We need somebody who is nationalistic. We need somebody who has the heart of the people. And unfortunately, Nigeria has produced two people who have the heart of the people as leaders. The first one is Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And I dare any current politician to say his status matches that of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The next person is is Ahmadu Bello. The man has the heart of the people. In fact, for him, when it was time to enjoy big-time power, he said, no, you boy, Tafawa Alewa, go. I'm here with my people. I want to be with my people. Then, of course, Azikiwe. Apart from these three, who ensured that they made sacrifices for their people? This present crop of political leaders. Who amongst them has the interest of the people at heart? And if you are not there for the people will not enjoy. And you too, you will not enjoy. This issue is akin to the chicken that perched on a rope. There will not be peace for the chicken, and there will not be peace for the rope.